Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Zenless Zone Zero reaction. Today we are going to be listening to Come Alive, the stripped version. I caught wind through the comments that this existed at all. It's been a while since I've done a Zenless track. It's just not something that gets requested too often, but I plan to tackle a lot more frequently coming into this new year. So hopefully you're all as excited about that as I am as we bring in the new year with this different version of one of the first songs I ever listened to from Zenless. So without further ado, let's go.
How long can we stay awake? Wash it all fall, yeah, we wash it all break. How long till we all fade away?
I did re-listen to the original, so I have that context. It's just been a while. Kind of wonder if it's gonna change, like... Ooh! Okay, I was kind of wondering if it was just going to be like a re-instrumentalization, but the mood is definitely different in like the lyrics as well. A full alternate version. Much softer on the vocal for this too. Fits the vibe a lot better. I was kind of expecting just a remix, you know? I love those keyboard stings. Great tone on them. Blends right in with the guitar. Oh, that was so good. Bro ASMR'd it. That felt really nice. Kind of wonder what they're going to do for the breakdown section, if anything. Those guitar accents in there are just so good.
Following the stars. Swear I will find until I run out of very miles. Fighting for the ones that are lost in the heart.
There's definitely some things I really want to talk about by the end of this. About how this sort of reimagining happens. And how to approach it.
Can we stay awake? Wash it all fall, yeah, we wash it all.
I think they're dodging the breakdown.
How long till we all fade away?
Which is fair, completely fair. Yep. I was wondering if they were going to do that at all, because like there's some ways to do it and some ways you can manage, but it really wouldn't have fit all too well. But there is an alternate reality out there where they could have made it work, but I'm happy either way. So this is a great example of how to perfectly do the reimagining of a much heavier song. They still kept the pretty processed lead vocals, which helps kind of make the whole thing feel a little bit more familiar to the ear, but everything about the instrumentals, and then like the rap vocalist, his work on this just going way more subtle, way quieter, more gentle of an approach down to that ASMR feel is so much better. You get rid of that aggression behind it, and while there was still some of that like anger in the main vocal, the lead vocal, it didn't have the pure anger that the other one did. It didn't have that like call to action that the other one did. it was a lot more reflective, and it felt exactly like what this song was made for, something that you would hear in a credits scene where you would be reflecting your time playing, and this was done phenomenally well here. They were playing around a lot with the accents and having those more subtle instruments in there, the acoustic guitar, the keyboards in there, the synths that they were using were a lot more light, and of course that all works with wanting to do a lighter version. You of course want to re-record stuff and match the mood and make things just kind of work in a different tune. You don't want to just do the same thing again with a slightly different instrumental every time. When you're doing a straightforward remix, kind of like what I was expecting this to be initially, I was kind of expecting it to be more like an electronic thing, you know, maybe a little bit more subtly. I could even hear a melodic dubstep rendition of this song working out in some alternate universe out there, similar to how at the end I was expecting either to or to not hear some variation with like a solo or something, just an instrumental interlude there to kind of bridge that gap of what would have been that breakdown. They could have done that with a little bit of vocalizations, just something kind of more like dreamlike than it would have been angry like the original was. That is a possibility and definitely something that they could have done. I kind of realized halfway through that this song definitely looked like it was shorter than the original one, and I figured that's probably what they were going for, was just to remove that section, and it all worked out at the end. I really think that the show was stolen by the rapper in this song for sure. The way that he handled things, the way that it was mixed in there was so fantastic as well. Like, it was so subtle. They made his voice really crispy and like just crackly and dry, especially at the end of his phrases, and it just works really, really well. And also, just kind of as a side note, I really like the term stripped used in the title here. That's exactly what this song feels like. You always get like acoustic version or unplugged, you know, like the usual ones to go for. I haven't seen stripped before to describe an acoustic performance, or at least acoustic style, because this definitely wasn't pure acoustic. It still had all of the processing like I mentioned on the vocals and other instruments, so it's not truly unplugged, but that doesn't really matter, you know? You're still gonna have the processing in there. Every song does these days. Having post-production on a song is basically always going to happen. It's just how modern music works, you know? Like, there can be times where you don't get any of that, but it's basically only exclusive to like fully public performances, stuff that truly can only be done fully unplugged and acoustically. When you're talking about any sort of recording, it's going to have some processing to it, and that's just the nature of the music industry. So people who expect otherwise are a little bit shrouded in maybe the nostalgia of back before that was more of a thing, but that's also kind of an unrealistic expectation in my eyes. Like, if you want to do that, that's cool, that's your thing, you're allowed to do that, but just don't expect it to be the norm everywhere always, you know? But this was a great first experience and first time back for a Zenless Zone-Zero song, and I'm sure there's plenty I've missed in the gaps of time that I've had between the other songs, but like I said, planning on getting to this way more often, so if you have anything, please drop it down in the comments below, and I'll definitely make sure to get to it this year. And by this year, I mean like probably within the next month or two, because I'm planning on doing this series at least once a week until I no longer get requests, so please, if you have them, let me know. And of course, otherwise, if you just like this video and you want to see more of them in the future, or you haven't seen my Shark Spite cover, I did a drum cover for that and uploaded a few months back. If you haven't seen that, go watch that real quick. And if you want to follow me and support me for stuff in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!